In the top left corner, representing nobody in particular. I need to figure out something else to say when I say representing. When we used to cast Starcraft, somebody was representing a clan 90% of the time. But in this case, Tom is playing a Jari. Tom has been playing a Jari for the past couple games. We've been playing some 1v1s. Tom is very new to the game, and on the opposite side of the map, playing against him, his opposition, somebody with lots of experience playing the game, it's Magicall. He's playing Mala, one of his better races, I think. He's taken an early expansion, which I like to see. We won't talk about these lines in the map that we see here. I don't know what's happening there. But that's fine, pre-alpha. Faction, not race. Tisk tisk. Did I say Aru or Mala? Because isn't Aru the faction? Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Faction, not race. We used to say race in StarCraft. I'm sorry, ZK. Blue man group in the left and red dwarf in the right corner. Nice one, Derp. Nice. So Tom's going for double ether extractor, just like Magicall's. Magicall's is a little bit quicker. This makes me think that Magicall is doing Zal, making some Zakals. But it could be anything, to be honest. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We do see a couple Sipari come out for Tom. Seems like he wants to get rid of that teapot. Get the scouting out of here. Leave. You're not wanted here, teapot. That's what Tom's saying. Can he take on this tower with just 2? Oh, he can. He's got reinforcements. He's fine. Who am I to question him? So it's not Zakals. It's hunters from Magicall. Do we see any tech? We do. We see, I believe that is a neurosite, but I could be wrong. So basically what Magicall is going to be doing is he's going to be looking to upgrade his hunters, is I think what he's doing. And that could be scary as Tom, if he doesn't have enough Sipari to match the hunters, because the Sipari are good against the hunters, but there becomes there's a tipping point, just like in any engagement, where there's so many of one thing that even if one specific unit counters another, the unit that usually gets countered will overwhelm the original force. And that's how I think that's how the interaction between the Sipari and hunters work. The Sipari are technically better than the hunters in a one-on-one fight, but better macro on the back end could result in a change in the tide. And we do see Magicall out here controlling those pyre camps. We see he does have a pyre advantage, and he is going to be trying to steal this one as well. But we do see Tom going for that pyre camp that allows him to get increased income of that pyre. So he could be catching this up, depending on how long it takes for Magicall to find it, if at all. So at this point, Magicall's at 150, and Tomathor has the pyre camp now, so he's going to be having an accelerated rate of pyre. And on the back end, we see what looks to be so Tom likes his absolvers. That's what I'm getting from what when we were playing together. The absolvers worked really well for him when he was playing against me, and it looks like he's going to try and apply what he learned playing against me to playing against Magicall. He is going to have to be careful though, because Magicall is a better player than I am. It's going to be pretty difficult for him to get himself in a spot where he can properly utilize the siege of the absolver on these forces. Now we do see some Zakals coming out from Magicall. Seems like he's probably going to be upgrading those as well. He's getting the second tier of production building for Aru. And he is looking to move out on the map. He's going to find this Tom's Pyre Camp accelerator thing. I don't remember the technical term. and kill it. But at this point, Tom is really close to him on PYRE. They're almost equal. I'm really impressed with how Tom is playing this. You wouldn't be able to, if you didn't know that he started playing 3 games ago, you wouldn't be able to tell. You would not be able to tell. He's matching all of Magicall's moves perfectly. Magicall's going for a third. Tom's is a little bit out there, but it's a lot earlier, okay? And it's something that Magicall is not going to guess. You know, usually Magicall will scout the corner bases just to see if you're hiding a base if he doesn't see you taking a third. But Tom's like, hey, my macro wasn't as good as West's in the past 3 games. Let's fix that. So he's just going all out, and he can do that. He's got the Absolver tech. He can defend. He can defend this later army from Magicall. Whether or not he'll be able to hold the PYRE is another thing, but we see Magicall has spent some of his PYRE, presumably on a tower. That's exactly what he spent it on. And yeah, he's out on the map getting more, but I like the position that Tom is taking in this game. Hi there, Meme Stopley. What's going on, Santa? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. And Magicall is being strangely passive. At this point, I would have expected him to be across the map. He's got a large army. He's not playing super economically, not compared to Tom anyway. And here we go. We see him sending out some hunters. He's looking for a corner base. There's a lack of shilling for whatever drink you having. Shilling? Shilling. I'm unfamiliar with that term. Just got back to my dorms, spent a weekend with my family. That is awesome. Spending time with your family is always fun. It's always fun, especially if you have fun family members. So I like this combination that Tom has got going on here. It would be unfortunate if Magicall were to make some thrums because he does not have any anti-air, but Magicall sees that and he's like, nope. Nope, not gonna mess with that. He is gonna look to reposition though. We do see Magicall does scout this base, and he's like, hey, you're macroing really hard. You must not have an army to match mine. So he's going to try and run in here and take this base. This is going to be pretty dangerous for Tom. He is caught out of position. And this base is fully upgraded too. This is going to be a painful loss. Even with losing this base, though, he is still ahead in the economic area, you know? Magicall may be ahead in the military area. If we look at the supply, wait, what? Excuse me. What is going on here? How is Tom ahead on supply? Wow, he really took advantage of that short time he had an additional base. Well, now I would say they're even, but Tom has better supply count. He has a better supply count, and he has a higher tech army. On the back end, we do not see any teching up to behemoths from Magicall or anything like that. This seems like this is going to be his army of choice for the time being. He's going for a 4th base to try and take advantage of the fact that he just sniped Tom's. I would expect Tom to try and take his own 4th base again. We do see a movement in the middle of the map by Magicall getting that PYRE, and he's going to show up to this tower that doesn't have any defense on it, and he's most likely going to lose that. That is another unfortunate loss from Tom. But Tom's got a powerful army. And let's see what this engagement looks like, if it happens at all. We see the stim, like, I forget what it's called. Infuse, similar to infuse for the hunters. Magicall is going for the rocks, and that is pretty dangerous as Tom here. You don't want to let him get into your main base, but Magicall seems to just trying to draw a reaction out of Tom, and he sees the sieged up Absolvers and he doesn't want to mess with it, so he's just going to try and go back into the main, and that's valid. This could be very dangerous for Tom. This could also be dangerous for Magicall. Magicall could just lose his whole army, but he chooses to branch off around 16 hunters to just mess around in the main base, be annoying, and he's going to keep the rest of his army alive. You see these hunters coming in. They're going to be able to get a lot of moats and potentially a couple of production buildings as well. And Magicall, meanwhile, is moving his main army around, swiveling it towards the expansions of Tom. He might be trying to snipe them. We do see a couple of hunters going down, but they do take down one dervish and a couple moats. And we do see an engagement here. The Absolvers are not sieged up, so that is pretty painful. But I mean, this army is so lightweight that even just a couple shots from the Dervish were doing a lot of damage. And Magicall does back off with his main army. He did a lot of damage in the main, and I think he's happy with that. And he's just going to go home. We do see a 4th base coming down from Tom. He does need this. At this point, I would say it's safe to say that he's a little bit behind in both the PYRE economically and militarily. But frankly, once again, offering. There you go. Santa knows the term. Offering is when what it is when the hunters get like a stim pack ability. Stim pack, similar to stim pack. Considering Tom's experience with the game, I'd say he's doing amazing. He is doing better than I'd say 99% of people would do against Magicall. He is still alive and well, completely in the game 11 minutes in. I'm usually dead in 11 minutes playing against Magicall. There's a light in my eye. What? What is this? There we go. It's still there. What the? Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Anyway. It's selling your soul to advertise products. Oh, I realize what you were saying now. Uh-oh, this is a big army. This could get dangerous. We do see some forces in the main base. There's going to be a big engagement here. Dervish are good, but they don't have that much health. What are these called? I forget. Mother somethings use their ability that freezes every unit in a small area and does some damage, can do some damage to them as well, and that was pretty painful. Fighting up around here is not amazing, but Tom's army is pretty tanky compared to Magicall's, and with these two sieged up units here, or absolvers here, and the third one as well, he's gonna be able to push that army back. But he does retreat his forces in order to kill all these Zakhals in his main base, and that does leave the absolvers completely undefended. And the siege mobs are starting to come down. These are pretty dangerous. They are long range attack, and they are very annoying to play against because they spawn with full health and they do not take long to start shooting. We see the last of these Siparis going down, and the Zakhals in the main we're still not taken care of. This is a rough one for Tom. It seems like he's just been picked apart. This is a very large army from Magicall, and Tom calls GG. Honestly, that was really good. That was really good from Tom. He played a solid game. I usually don't last that long against Magicall. So, Red Sisters, there you go. Santa knows the names of all the units. See, Santa, you are my encyclopedia. You are my dictionary. Okay.